I'm about 60 hours into Baldur's Gate 3, and I see exactly why it's gotten Game of the Year over Spider-Man 2, so let's just get that out of the way right now. Those of you who have been watching my channel for a while know damn well that I love the hell out of Spider-Man 2, but would y'all believe a brother if he said that it ain't got shit on Baldur's Gate 3? Maybe not visually in some ways, I mean just look at the gameplay. It looks like the most boring shit from the outside looking in, but bro, I promise you, when you play it for yourself, it's a whole other experience. I nearly quit playing this game on day one. I'm not kidding, I genuinely started looking for ways to get refunds on PlayStation to no avail. So I thought, fuck it, I might as well try to enjoy myself. And enjoy myself, I fucking did. I had not recorded a lick of gameplay from Baldur's Gate 3 simply because it would be like y'all watching me play a game of chess, but the chess pieces are slaughtering each other. But I went and recorded a little bit of my own gameplay earlier on today just for the purpose of this video and so that this video wouldn't just be Spider-Man gameplay. So, I'm aware that the gameplay ain't all that appealing to watch, but I'ma need y'all to believe me when I say that playing it for yourself, witnessing the story, the characters, the romance, nigga. By the way, this game has put me into so much involuntary romance sequences. Let me tell you, there's this character in the game called Gale. Tell me why I was just trying to cheer this man up and then this man tried to fuck me. Continuing on my last point, nothing in this game feels rushed, and I was amazed at how much freedom of choice that the game gives you. It just transcends all of what Spider-Man 2 had to offer. And we run this channel on brutal honesty, so you know I ain't fucking around. Just check my track record. I'm not playing, I don't know how to be any clearer with y'all, and this is coming from someone who's never played D&D not once in his life. I've never sat at a tabletop for 2 hours role-playing, you feel me? And yet, this nigga is having a good old time. It's the type of game where you could come up with a crazy ass way to get a mission done, and the game lets you do it. Here's an example. I was stuck on a boss, Balthazar, this nigga right here. I tried surprise attacking him. It didn't work. I tried to overpower him by leveling up. That didn't work. I was able to learn a spell that could turn anybody into a sheep. I used it on him, then I beat his ass. Literally jumped him with my man down. It looked like a Black Friday sale in 2011, and the boss was holding the last Samsung 47-inch TV. It looked like a Basketball People moment from the Boondocks. It looked like what the Powerpuff Girls did to Mojo Dojo. Like, brother, we fucked his ass up. Had the mission over in a matter of 7 seconds. He got to live out the duration of a single vine. And then comes Spider-Man 2. I still think the game was great. Definitely an 8, perhaps a 7 out of 10, mainly due to Yuri's performance, which I still think he should have won the Game Award for, though I understand why Astarion came away with the win. I mean, homie, just look at his OnlyFans. This man was getting thirsty comments all over social media, while y'all were begging for Peter to change his face back. My biggest issue within Spider-Man 2 was the pacing of the story, and how so many plot points just happened off screen. We know that Kraven killed the entirety of the Sinister Six, besides the ones that were incarcerated, such as Sandman, Flint Marko, and Dr. Octopussy. But we didn't get to see any of it besides the death of Scorpion. Could you imagine the weight that would be on our shoulders if the game was to make it seem like it was our fault that we couldn't save them, that they were dying because of Spider-Man, rather than Kraven just doing it on his day off? In comparison to Baldur's Gate 3, it just seems very lazy. Any player that isn't paying attention to the little things in Spider-Man 2 can completely miss the fact that Kraven killed the likes of Shocker, Vulture, and Electro. Meanwhile, Baldur's Gate 3 never lets you not see the repercussions of your actions and your decisions. I accidentally started a war at the beginning of my playthrough between the elves and the tieflings by thinking I had to kill this one lady, right? Next thing you know, I'm chopping off Karlach's head and giving it to some white boy for the reward of a sword. I've made so many different decisions in comparison to my girlfriend that both of our story modes are on completely different routes right now. She's fighting bosses that I was able to surpass and vice versa. The level of detail in this game is literally insane, especially when it comes to dialogue choices and magic. Now, Spider-Man 2 definitely wins in the traversal department cause my boy, web swinging. And there are no mounts in Baldur's Gate 3, as far as I know anyway. Also, by the way, I'm 60 hours in and still haven't beaten the main story. There's just so much content and difficult battles that you'll be hooked for hours and hours. And this is something that I absolutely love. Every building in this game is accessible. You can break into anywhere or find a key to it. Whatever it is, you can do it, man. I've beaten Spider-Man 2 3 times already, and I'm pretty sure it didn't even add up to 60 hours for all 3 saves combined. And that's plus side quests. Now, I'm not saying longer games mean that they're better games, it's just clear to me who put more work into their game, and not just on gameplay, story, but on every little aspect. I'm really not fucking around when I say that whatever you think you can do in this game, there's probably a way to do it. Baldur's Gate makes nearly every other game seem streamlined. Like we have a lack of options on how to get something done. It makes Telltale games look trash. I want more games to learn from this formula because it is amazing. The voice acting is incredible, like even the one-liner NPCs go hard. And hey, I can only hope that Larian Studios hires me for any of their next projects. Hell, I'd do it for free. But hey, money would be nice. Please pay me. The last time that I was this amazed at a game for how many quests and options you had was way back when I first played Skyrim. And would you believe me if I told you that Baldur's Gate 3 is at least twice the times better? The game is funny, hilarious even. It's put me on a high level of expectancy for any future titles that any company releases from this point on. Of course, barely any other companies will follow through and have the bother to make such an excellent world and game to play as this, with just so many paths you can take to shape the story and make a unique experience for each player. But if I see one more lazy ass, non-innovative Ubisoft game, let me tell you, Ubi, I'ma be on your ass, you lazy some bitch. Y'all been making the same game in different fonts for the last 10 years. But that rant is for another video. Where Spider-Man 2 fails is where Baldur's Gate 3 exceeds it. Not just succeeds like what your auntie be doing, but excels. I didn't understand how Spider-Man 2 didn't win anything just a couple weeks ago. I made a whole video being somewhat ignorant to the facts. Then I bought the game for myself and just, wow. If I can make a top 3 games of the last decade, I'd have Baldur's Gate 3 right next to God of War Ragnarok. And I haven't even played Valhalla yet. I feel bad for Spider-Man fans. I feel bad because y'all have completely neglected Baldur's Gate as if it's not worthy of your time. Facts don't care about your feelings, and it's just the fact that BG3 is better. And I feel bad because I feel you. Baldur's Gate is definitely not for everybody, I can see that. I can tell that they weren't prepared for their own success, just due to how the game was catered towards D&D players, so there's a lot of stuff I've had to Google to make sense of the game. But once you learn how the game runs, it won't be long till you start to fly. Literally, I'm not playing. If you learn the right magic in this game, you can soar, motherfucker. But please, give it a chance if you can ever get your hands on it, and it won't disappoint. Spider-Man 2 had a great start to the game. Fast-paced, they picked up right where the story left after the last game. And we get put into an amazing boss fight off the get-go. Baldur's Gate, not so much. I'm not playing. I tried to get rid of this game as soon as I got it. But y'all can thank the Sony rep for not letting me get my money back. Spider-Man 2 was great at launch, but once the hype died down and we could really look back and see the game for what it was, the lack of post-game content, the somewhat lack of replayability, no new game plus, it's apparent how the game seems to have fell flat. Even though it was the fastest selling game in PlayStation history, if I recall that correctly, it would have hurt me to say this 2 weeks ago, but when it comes to Baldur's Gate vs Spider-Man 3, BG3 solos. It feels unfair. Nah, like, it's a one-sided ass whooping. And I put that on God. Let me get a like and a share after you click that subscribe button. I thank you kindly. I'm sure that I'ma have some people hating in the comments about how Spider-Man should have won without even watching 5 seconds of the video, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinions. I love to debate. Let's do this. And I'll be seeing you. Take care. Think about giving this game a chance. In peace.
Baby, let me see some. Okay, too bad. Bitches, going both ways. Woo. She gon' do it for these fans. She make it clap like how I do both of my hands. Fuck it up, stick it up.